Gaffer, disappointment late on today, the 2 undefeated home to Morecambe. What's your reaction to today's result?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a bit of a shock because it was a real sucker punch at the end. I felt for the players because sort of second half we really turned it on, and plenty of opportunities to score. And it just goes to show, I said to the players, when we play with that kind of urgency, intensity, they found it very hard to contain us, and it was just some gilt-edged chances, some great goalkeeping from both their keepers that performed well for them today, and just that little bit of edge to see us over the line, and it was one-way traffic second half, and then in typical sort of cruel football fashion, it can happen that the late sucker punch where we didn't clear our lines, and that's cost us at least a point, but we learned lessons from it, and it's a harsh lesson, but we certainly can look back in the second half and think that's more of what we want to see.
Like I said, after falling behind, which was a little bit out of the blue, I think, on the run of play, particularly in the second half, as you say, we had the urgency. And to be honest, it looked like we were maybe the only team that was going to go on and win it.
Yeah, well, I'd agree. But that can happen in football, we can't just think, play victim or feel sorry for ourselves. It's disappointing, but the crowd reaction was brilliant, really driving us on throughout the second half. I thought first half, we didn't help ourselves with that, when it opens then sort of accusations of not rising to it, but, the second time after our mayor's show, which was happened a few times this season so far after big games. But I think it was, they were set it up to be hard to beat at the bottom of the table, with experienced players that know how to, explore the game, and fair play to them for doing that. And then they were waiting for just one opportunity and hoping to take it, and they gave that because we weren't strong from that set piece, which was very disappointing. But we had long enough to get back into it. We reminded the lads of when we played to our strengths and when we're playing with real tempo, how many problems we can cause opponents, and we did just that second half. And another day, we'd probably come off, winning the game 4-2, even though we probably conceded only a couple of chances. They took their opportunities. We didn't, and that's football, and it can be cruel at times.
So a sense of frustration in the sort of way in which we conceded the goal, obviously caught in possession, errant pass out. It sounds like obviously there's frustration there today, but no sort of real blame attached to the players for the performance.
No, listen, we can do better, can't we? Be more ruthless and finishing chances, but I also got to look at lads like James Daly coming off the bench and making a great contribution, and his reaction to missing his chance to score. He didn't feel sorry for himself. He didn't think, that's me out of the team or me not giving it a chance. He just put it right, and I love that about the guy. And I think if we've got characters throughout the squad and club like that, then we won't be denied.
And so finally, we've got a quick turnaround with Blackpool coming up in the Cup on Tuesday night. Is it a case of sort of taking a bit of that frustration out on that game, particularly we've got a great opportunity to go through into the knockout stages, haven't we?
It's just in this game, we have to move on, and we won't be over analytical about video session galore, before today and before Tuesday's game, and in between times it's just got to be focused on being aggressive again. Whoever we play, we've shown that we can play to a high tempo and sustain it. When we dip or when we lose edge, we see poorer versions of ourselves and of all our players, and so we've got to be that aggressive team that got us here in the first place, has kept us up, has had a good run last year, and I certainly feel that good times can be ahead of us this season. We can build momentum by showing the grit, tenacity and tempo that we showed in the second half. Things like this will happen throughout the football season for every football club, last minute defeats, and we've got to make sure then in the next game it goes in our favour.
Okay. Thanks for your time, Gaffer.
Cheers. Thank you.